Hey, good morning, everybody. Carolyn Hauser Carson with perfect. Okay, I'm here. Good morning, everybody. I'm very excited to be here for the second day of deep healing. Good morning, Leah. How are you today? Hey, Sasu. How are you today? Where are you right now, Sasu? Today's theme is healing the connection to your soul. And yesterday we did deep healing for the heart. If you missed it, I'm posting all the recordings on the event page. And you can find the event page in the Women in the Flow group, and you can find it on my profile. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Janae. Let me know where you're watching from and how you are this morning. And tag your friends. Thailand! Yes, so we have Mind Riviera, we have Thailand, we have Leah, you're somewhere on the East Coast, I know that much. And yeah, so yesterday we worked on healing the heart, and I've shared some of the practices that helped me get into heart-centered energy. Today it's all about the soul. So my way of connecting to my soul, one of my favorite ways, is through music and dance. So I'm just gonna put on a little bit of music just for a few minutes, so that we can pull ourselves together and into the space. Oh, from France, nice, Quincy. Hello, hello. So let me put this tune on and let's just get connected to our soul for a moment. I hope you guys can see this. If you're sitting, just stand up, or if you're sitting, you can still do this, and just allow yourself to connect to your body. Our soul is the thing that connects our body to our spirit. And since this is all about energy, allow yourself to really generate energy through the movement, through enjoying being in your body. So this is Carolyn Hauser Carson bringing to you 9 days of deep healing and energy shifting. My unique brilliance is shifting energy. I shift it for other people. I teach people how to shift it, and I've completely transformed my life through learning how to shift energy and mastering energy principles and working with energy. I'm also a family constellations facilitator. I'm one of the leading experts in family constellations in the world. And I'm also the creatrix of the Pleasure IQ. The Pleasure IQ is my system. It's a 4-step system that's designed to help my clients shift into a paradigm of paradise. And the paradigm of paradise is a state of being where you are in flow, where you are living into being in your full potential, where you're organically living into your full potential, where you experience ease, flow, abundance, health, strength, energy, focus, where it's easy to see things through, where you can deal with the resistance that gets thrown at you, and you can power through. I always, when you are in the process of changing your life or up-leveling life, it's literally you're leaving one universe and you're transitioning into another one. Hey everybody, let me know where you're watching from. Hey Lori, so good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. So it's literally, you have to leave one universe and you're kind of in nowhere's land for a little while until you reach what I call the paradigm of paradise. It's just a parallel universe. And the way to get there is by following your soul and being connected to your soul, because your soul already knows, your soul is already connected to this parallel universe of the paradigm of paradise. And pleasure is your meter. Pleasure tells you whether you're going in the right direction or you're going in the wrong direction. In Germany, we have this game. It's called Find the Egg. And you get blindfolded and you get a spoon, and somebody hides a pot with a treat under it in a corner. And all the other kids, you go on your knees and you have the spoon and you kind of have to find your way. And the other kids yell hot or cold, depending on where you're at in relationship to the pot that has the treat. And so that's kind of what pleasure is in a relationship to navigating yourself into your paradigm of paradise. Your paradigm of paradise is the place where you feel amazing and where you're connected, where things flow, where you're fearless, where you're in a state of alertness and courage, because your opportunities are always around you. We're just usually too bogged down and too low, in a too low vibrational state to actually see them and take advantage of them. And so doing energy work, getting back to why shifting energy is so important. All these parallel universes exist already. Some of them are lower vibrational, some of them are higher vibrational. Your paradigm of paradise is a high vibrational place. And so for each of us to get there, for you to get there, all you really need to do is learn how to shift energy, specifically yours. It's not about releasing patterns, and it's not about healing the past. We think it's about that, but when it comes down to it, it really is just about learning to shift your energy. We don't have power over other people. We don't have power over our circumstances, but we do have power over this. And that doesn't mean we should suppress our feelings or pretend we don't have fear or just stuff down. Not at all. It's really about learning what to do when we're all super emotional creatures, right? And usually the reason why we're not quite as successful, why we're not where we are wanting to be, is because we constantly are battling our emotions, right? Like if it wasn't for us not feeling good enough or having anxiety, having doubt, not completely knowing, it would be very easy to make this transition from where we are right now into the paradigm of paradise. But because our subconscious is programmed to keep us safe, and the known is safe, the moment we leave this, we have to start relying on something else. And that something else is faith and our spirit and our soul connection. Because like I said, our soul is already connected to the paradigm of paradise. You wouldn't know what you want, and you wouldn't have a longing for something if that wasn't true. The law of polarity states nothing in the universe was created half. Your longing and the fulfillment are one thing. The reason why you long for something is because something is already there. Paul wasn't just created the moment I really wanted to be with my soulmate. I wanted to be with my soulmate since I was 7, probably since I was 6. All my life was around when am I going to find the one? And for him the same. We were looking for each other for the same amount of time because we both wanted each other. We belonged together and we were looking for each other. And so it's the same with everything. Everything that you want is already here, and it wants you as much as you want it. And your soul, because everything is energy, right? And your physical body obviously is the most densest one and the most easiest that forgets that everything is energy because you can't touch it and it seems like it's a thing, it's a matter, but it's still energy. It's just dense energy, right? So your soul is already a step closer to really being connected to everything and being in the more ethereal realm. And it's the connection between you and your spirit. And so when we are really in our body, we need to be in our body to be connected to our soul. And when we are connected to our soul, we're also then connected to our spirit, because that's how it goes. It goes from the body to our soul, to our spirit. Our soul is the bridge between the spirit, our spirit being, our completely expansive, all-knowing, eternal being, to this singular entity, you know, feeling like singular entity. Good morning, Magda. Separated from everything, which is an illusion, right? So, with that being said, that's why we are focusing today on day 2 on the connection to our soul. And if you were there yesterday, you know that I'm going to do a constellation in just a little bit. So I'm going to say the prayer and do the grounding, and then if you're new to this, I work with these colored fields, and I don't expect that you have them, but if you do have, you could grab some magazines, pieces of paper, pillowcases, kitchen towels, washcloths. So I'll just give you a moment to do that. And while I'm doing so, I'm going to see if I can invite some people also while I'm giving you the time. Good morning. Good morning. Anna, where I think you're somewhere in Europe, right? Where are you from? Not calling. Where are you watching from? So yesterday I was able to figure out how to add people here. Let's see if I can do it today too. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. So while you're getting your fields, I'm just going to invite a few more here. Oops, doo-doo. And then I'm going to say prayer. Okay. Zoop. Okay. So, I'm inviting you to close your eyes, taking a deep breath in, letting your belly soften and exhaling, letting go of everything and anything that came before our time together. Yesterday, the day before, the week before, the months before, the years before, your entire past, just letting it all go. And then inhaling again, really letting your belly soften and exhaling, letting go of anything and everything that still has to happen after our time together. Later today, tomorrow, all future plans, all things that you still have to do and need to get done. Your entire future, just letting it all go. And then inhaling one last time, letting your belly soften and exhaling, arriving in this present moment. Our body is always in the present moment, so arriving in our body, dropping down, 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 out of our head and into our bellies. So today I'm setting the intention and speaking a prayer for deep transformation and healing, for deep soul connection, for the removal of everything that stands in the way of us being completely united, connected with our soul, for all the physical, emotional, energetic, and spiritual obstacles to be removed. And with this prayer and intention, I'm claiming our ability to do this work today, and I'm grateful that we have the tools that we need to be here together today. And if you're watching this as the recording, just know that you're included and that this work is just as powerful for you. And so with a grateful heart, I just let this intention and prayer be, knowing that it is carried out in joy and peace by simply saying, and so it is. Amen. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, Bianca. Let me know where you're watching from, and thanks for joining. We're going to actually step into doing, or I'm going to step into doing a constellation. You are welcome to just sit and receive this energy work. When I'm doing the constellation, I work on the collective connection to soul, each and every one of us, and as a collective. And if you like, and if you've done this before, and even if you haven't done this before and you like, you can also just do your own individual one. So you decide if you want to do your individual one. You just need 2 pieces. I'm going to pick the sparkly blue today. And I think I'm going to pick the sparkly gold again. I like the sparkly ones. And I'm going to pick the blue for our soul and the gold for the self, for our current self. And so you can pick 2 pieces of your own, 2 magazines, 2 whatevers that you can step on. And then I'm inviting you to just put them, if you're doing this for yourself, put them on the floor. I'm going to put them here on my carpet behind me in a second. And just put them the way they feel right to you. They could be far apart, they could be close together. Just remember which one is which. And I'm just going to do this. I gotta get up. I'm going to carry you around with me. So for me, the self and the soul are not quite across from each other and somewhat apart. And I am going to start by stepping onto the self. Wow, from Indonesia. We have a very international crowd today. That is awesome. So if you are doing your own individual constellation, start by stepping onto the field that you put in for the soul. And if you're just receiving this as the collective, then you can just sit and close your eyes or watch me. So as I'm standing on the soul, I'm slightly turned away. You can see our beach toys out there, my big watermelon that I like to float on. I'm slightly turned and the self is to my right. I do want to be connected to the self and I'm kind of curious, but I do feel slightly hurt or rejected or not wanted. So I'm slightly turned away from the self. I'm going to step onto the self now. The self is very much looking at the soul. And as the self, I do want to be connected. I want to be connected to the soul. And I'm wondering if there's anything that I've done so I'm just going to ask the soul if there's anything that I've done that has caused it to feel the way it's feeling. And if you're doing your individual one, you can keep stepping back and forth between your pieces and see what's happening for you, and just follow the movement. So I'm just going to step back over onto the soul again. I'm just feeling into what it is for the soul that it needs. I don't feel like the self has done something to me. It's more like the society. It's more like the society. The problem that I'm having is with the society than with the self. So I'm just going to step off the soul, and in my constellation, in the collective constellation, I'm going to actually pick another field for society. You, if you're doing your own one, just keep doing and keep stepping and feeling into what your soul and the self need to say to each other, if they need to move, if they want to move closer. I'm going to pick the white for the society, and I'm putting it, feels like actually it's between the soul and the self. So I'm going to step back onto the soul. So for the soul, it's almost like I can't see the self because the society is kind of clouding. It's like a layer between me and the self. So I am stepping back onto the self. And so the self is very much, I'm looking down onto the white now, so it's very hard for me to even look at the self now because the white, the society, I'm so entangled with the white. So I just stepped onto the society. So as the society itself, I don't have any ill will. I also don't feel like I have a thing, like I don't feel like I'm self-motivated. It's not like I'm deciding something. I'm a conglomerate of things. So I don't feel like I have power over anybody. It's more like anybody could choose to be part of me, or people buy into me. I'm not real, actually. I am not real. I'm something completely made up by a ton of people. So I don't actually I'm not a being that has creative power of its own. That's interesting. So I'm just going to step off and see how that is when the individual self hears that. So when I'm on the individual self, that's interesting and I understand it. And then the question is, well, if I don't buy into, it's almost like if I don't hook into you, society, if I don't believe in what everybody else is believing, what do I believe then? I need something. Like I feel I need something to hook myself into. And that's a human need. So I'm just stepping back onto the society. And for the society, it's very clear that the thing that you need to hook into if you don't want to be hooked into me is like your soul. But I don't want to quite move out of the way. I'm just what I am, and the golden, the individual self has to find a way to hook into the soul. I feel like I'm everywhere. I'm really everywhere, and it's up to the individual to find a way to connect. Sorry if this is wobbling, but I'm holding you in my arms, and my laptop is a little heavy, getting a little heavy. Stepping back onto the individual self, and if you're doing your individual constellations, just keep stepping and feel if there's anything else that needs to come in for this to move to a more resolved place. So even though the society is in between me and the soul, I can see the soul, and I can walk towards it. I just have to walk around the society. It just takes courage, but I have that courage, and I'm going to do that. It's very frightening actually to unhook myself from the white and walk around it and walk towards my soul, but at the same time, it was really reassuring to hear from the society that if I don't want to be hooked into it, and also that it's just really a made-up thing, that I can have the same feeling of safety and security if I completely hook into my soul. So this human need for safety and security is a need that we'll always have, probably. It comes with being human. But we can hook ourselves into something different. We can hook ourselves into our soul and have the same, I like your likes and your hearts, so you're resonating. Good. This is resonating. I love these constellations because you never know what you'll learn. And we always learn, truth. That's why it's so freeing, this work. And that's why it shifts energy so quickly. Because truth is a high vibrational frequency. So I am now, I'm now across from my soul. The society is kind of behind me. I don't want to completely disconnect from society because I am part human. It's part of, as a human, we are part of the society. And but I don't want to be hooked in for my safety and security into. I don't want to be hooked into the society for my safety and security. I want to be hooked into my soul for my safety and security. And then, from that place, I want to contribute to society. So this feels much better. I'm going to step onto the soul again and see. The soul feels better now too, and it's work right across from each other. I'll show you if I can. Let's see if I can show you the gold and the blue. Yes. So they're right across from each other. the soul is really not interested in society. Soul is interested in the self and the connection. And it's fun because the golden right now, when I'm on the blue, I'm on the soul. When I'm looking at the golden is all sparkly now and feeding. There's energy happening between me, the soul, and the golden. I'm feeding off this connection. And I really don't need anything else. I just need this connection between the self and me. And then whatever the self does with this energy is up to the self. So I'm going to step back onto the self. Self wants to turn around and just be... It feels really good to wear my soul almost like a cloak. Yeah, it is like a cloak, actually. I feel like my soul is like my regal cloak. It makes me feel very proud, very regal. And I can feel how I feel protected and how I feel safe and how I feel like I can, if society gets too rough, I can cloak myself. I can not shield, but I can envelop myself. I don't feel that need to be hooked into the society anymore, which is good. I feel like I can serve society. I can be there, and I can also not feel isolated and alone when I'm not part of it. I think part of the reason why I was so hooked to society is because I didn't want to feel alone. I wanted to feel a sense of belonging. And so now that sense of belonging is really met through my connection to my soul. I don't feel alone. I don't feel isolated. I also feel like through my soul there's other connections happening with other people that are like me. So that's good. I'm just going to step onto the society one more time and see if the society needs anything else. That actually feels also very good for the society. Even though as a society I'm not a being and I don't have power to do anything, I do want humans to be happy, actually. I do. And I kind of know that they're not completely happy when they're hooked into me as this illusion. So I personally, as this societal construct, like it when people are free. But I didn't create myself. I think something else created me, and this something else would not want people to be free. But me as the society, so maybe I do have a little bit of an opinion of my own, and a little bit of a being of my own. I like what just happened. So let me put this laptop down. Oof. Who thought that a laptop was this heavy? Anyway, very interesting, right? So if you're still doing your own, I'm going to go through the comments later and just see and comment. See if there's another movement or if it wants to come to a close. And so when we do these constellations, we basically just make visible what's going on in the energetic realm and can basically... one of the images that we have in constellations is the image of a mobile and everything having their right place. And when everything has their right place, the mobile hangs in balance, right? And everybody's free. And when there's this harmony, it just means that things have gotten entangled and the whole system, the whole mobile has tipped to one side or the other. And so what the constellations allow us to do, they let us see where the entanglements are, and they then let us disentangle the entanglement so that every part of the puzzle can become free. And so that's what we did. And today the entanglement, obviously, that the reason why as a collective we're not as deeply connected with our soul is that we have a deep need for safety and security. And at present we derive that, before this constellation, we have derived this sense from the connection to society, which is keeping us stuck and not allowing us to be free, right? And so today we disentangled that and put the soul in the right place, put the society in the right place. And so you'll feel this rippling out in your life. Over the next 2 months, you will feel freer, you'll feel on fire. You'll also start feeling more connected to spirit and feeling more guided, which tomorrow will be focusing on, thanks for sending me all these hearts, I love it, on your connection to spirit, so that you know how to be guided. And when you're connected to spirit, everything flows, right? Because spirit knows the shortcuts. Spirit knows how to make it easy. And hey, good morning, Brett. Thanks for joining. And at the same time, you know, this is obviously a group work that I'm doing. I do this individually. This is what I help my clients to do. I help them shift out of a paradigm of struggle. If your current paradigm sucks the life out of you, or you can't figure out how to bring ease into it without sacrificing everything that you've built, especially if you've built a bigger business, if you've built a business around something or you that you were a few years ago and it doesn't feel quite right anymore, but you can't just let it go because it's the source of your livelihood. There is a way to transition from where you are right now to the more evolved version, and it will most likely include everything that you have. It's just going to have to be tweaked and different. You won't get there the way you got to the other thing, right? So it's a different way. My strength is I can read your paradise. I can know what it is and tell you, and I can help you navigate your way towards that. I can help you basically say, yes, do this, no, don't do this. And I can also help you remove and release anything that's in the way of you being in a high vibrational space, right? We all carry ancestral stuff. We carry stuff from past lifetimes. I don't have to tell you, right? You know. And so doing this work alone doesn't work. You need somebody. I've had help along the way, still have help along the way. And this is my gift, is to shift energy and help people shift into the paradigm of paradise. So if you'd like to talk, if you want to talk about the mastermind that's opening now, the Pleasure IQ Mastermind, or you just want to talk in general and see if you can get my help, or you just want my advice on your particular situation and hear from me how I would solve your current dilemma and the plan that I would come up for you, let's talk. My booking link is in the comments. You can also just send me a PM. I have basically cleared my schedule for this week to do these lives and to be of service to you, my community, and my tribe. And so with that, tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. Central, we'll be doing a Facebook Live on connection to spirit, so that you can have clear guidance and clarity on your next steps and just feel connected and happy and at peace. And share this event with people that you think will benefit from it. Thanks for joining me today. I'll say till tomorrow, all my love to you. Bye-bye.